All right. Do you conduct financial background to all your prospective buyers?
We see no need to do that, Your Honor. It's a tedious process, and as far as we're concerned, if you fail to, if you renege in your obligations, the unit stays with us. So unlike when you go to a bank and you try to take out loans, the bank will have to do background investigation, because if you occupy your house and you renege on your payments, the banks will have to go through a lot of trouble evicting you. We don't have that problem, Your Honor. So for us, it's unnecessary. So we don't.
Thank you, Mr. Witness.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I think my time is up. Thank you.
Mr. President, Senator Osmeña wishes to be recognized. And thereafter, Senator Recto and Senator
Gentleman
Drilon.
from Cebu is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, ilan pong penthouse doon sa Bellagio?
6 po.
6. On 3 floors.
Opo.
So, ibig sabihin, 2 per floor.
Yes po.
At siguro iba-ibang presyo. Yung tatlo, the one on the first floor of the penthouse would be priced at less than the top penthouse. Di ba?
Yes po.
Alright. Meron ko kayong price list?
Wala po akong...
Would you like to submit to the court the price list, the asking prices for those penthouses?
Well, our price list basically is based
No,
on...
don't just submit it. Don't argue, please. We ask the court that it subpoenas the original price list for the Bellagio condominium building. Can we have that by tomorrow, Mr. Witness?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Ngayon po, yung damage, anong klaseng damage na sustain ng penthouse ni Chief
Gaya
Justice?
po nung nabanggit ko kanina, nagkaroon po ng leakage na iwan po.
Ibig sabihin mo water damage lang?
Water damage po. And,
water damage, in my experience, is one of the least.
Well, the floors were
There's no
extensively...
construction damage, there's no cracks. Kung water damage lang, paint lang yan.
Hindi lang ho yun. Medyo extensive ho yung naging damage. Besides, hindi po
Alright.
talaga...
Do you have photographs of the unit as it was damaged?
No, sir. I don't remember.
You did not file any insurance claims on it?
No, sir.
You did not?
Not that I know of, sir.
Will you please check, because it's very normal that if there is any sort of damage, there is a claim that is made and photographs are taken. You're under oath, Mr. Witness.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that for
Yes,
a fact, that no claims were filed?
I don't know that for a fact,
All right,
sir.
so you said there was none. So you were not telling the truth.
No, I don't know that for a fact, sir. All I
right.
said was that normally there should be...
Never mind normally. I'm asking you specifically, in this case, if any claims were filed.
I'm not aware of
All right,
that, sir.
will you find out and let the court know tomorrow?
I will, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ano pong normally construction cost ng multi-story condominium building like the Bellagio?
I'm actually not...
You're not a finance man.
No, sir, I'm not.
Normally, the construction cost is about 70 to 80% of the total selling price. 20% is the normal profit made by a developer. Are you aware of that?
I'm not so sure, Your Honor.
All I'm saying is that if it was listed, if the listed price was 24 million, it was eventually sold for 14 million, the developer sold this at a huge loss. Are you aware of that?
I wouldn't call it a huge loss, sir.
Well,
It's a
okay, so you're
reduction
aware
profit.
of the numbers. So what is to you a huge loss, and what is the small loss?
Well, as the figures will show, sir, it's about 40% here.
What figures? You haven't told us any figures. Are you talking about the difference between 24 million and 14 million?
Well, yes, sir. If you, that's one way to look at it, sir.
That's one way to look at it. You have
Yes, sir.
other ways of looking at it.
Well, because if from a normal selling price of 24 million and we ended up selling it for 14.5, that's quite a reduction, sir. But as I've mentioned earlier, there's a reason for this, and I was explaining it.
Yes, and we're trying to probe if that reason is valid. Now, that's why we're asking for photos, because in my experience, water damage is one of the least that can happen to your property as far as damage is concerned. Probably
Yes.
cost you just a coat of paint.
Your Honor, if I may also add, I was saying earlier that on top of this, the unit was actually semi-bare at that stage. We were just about to finish it. We were going to complete it, and then some parts of it were damaged.
You are saying that the unit was semi-bare.
That's
Would you
correct.
please describe what semi-bare means?
Well, it's not 100% finished, Your Honor.
Well, we know
were-
that, but
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you know, what is missing? The electricals were in place,
Yes, the
the water
electricals were in
pipes were in place,
Yes, sir.
and did you not finish it before you handed it over to the new owner?
No, sir, we did not have the chance to do that, as I've mentioned.
You mean to
because-
say the new owner moved in and did all the finishing himself?
Well, we just turned it over to the new owner, sir, and
Would you
we
show us
sold
the
it as it
dates on
was.
which the turnover was made, please?
Pardon, sir?
Show the court the date on which the turnover was made.
I don't have it with me, sir.
Yes, will you submit it to the court?
Yes, sir, I will.
Now, essentially, a developer will never turn over a unit that is not finished and not up to spec, because the contracts would all reflect representations and warranties, particularly in a condominium building. So we doubt very much if you're being very accurate this afternoon. In any case, my 2 minutes are up, Mr. Senate President. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Senator Recto, Senator Pangilinan, Senator Drilon, and Senator Villar, in that order, Mr. President.
Senator Recto has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. Mr. President, I just have a few questions with the prosecution to better understand the case of the prosecution with regard to the Sal-N and the Bellagio property. Thank you, Mr. President. Am I correct to hear from the prosecution earlier that you agree that the Chief Justice included the Bellagio property in his Sal-N?
Yes.
So it is found in the Sal-N?
In 2010, meron pong
In
nakalagay
2010.
roon na dalawang condominium sa Taguig City.
Okay. So you're saying that is in number 5? Year acquired 2010, I suppose.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, kung nandito, ano yung problema?
Unang-una, ang problema, ang nakalagay po lamang dyan ay 6 na milyon mahigit.
You are saying now, just to be specific about it, Mr. Senate President, under the issue of current fair market value, on number 5 of the Sal-N of the Chief Justice, it says, Condo Taguig 2010 installment, assessed value 3,496,320, and then it says under the current fair market value 6.8 million. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And you're saying that he should have,
Well, unang-una, ang selling price po ay 14.5. Pangalawa po, kung totoo ang sinasabi ng aming testigo na yun ay reduced price at kinakailangan gumastos pa ang punong maestrado ng Korte Suprema ng additional na 5 milyon, dapat po ang value ng property is 14.5 as reflected in the deed of absolute sale plus the 5 million na gagamitin sa pagpapaayos ng penthouse.
kung papagawa.
Kung ipapagawa po.
Okay. Mahabang ano yun eh. Anyway, so the problem is, what you're saying is that dapat linagay niya sa acquisition cost 14.5 million.
Yun.
Do you have a problem with the 6.8 million under current fair market value?
Well, I think na malinaw naman po na kung ang current fair market value is only 6.5 million, no sane person would be selling the same property whose market value is only 6.5. It would be, the seller would be selling it
Mr.
for 14.5 million.
Mr. Prosecutor, let me invite your attention to Exhibit LLLLL. This is the exhibit given by the prosecution. It says here in the certificate authorizing registration, without this, you cannot register the property. in this registration, certificate authorizing registration, the selling price is here at 14.5 million. And I agree with you that the Chief Justice should have put it in the acquisition cost. But having said that, there is also an account here that says market zonal value, which is 6,827,000. Meaning to say, for purposes of real property tax payments, ito yung public document. May isa pang dokumento to eh. Ito for registration purposes, whichever is higher, that is the corresponding taxes that you pay, so that you're issued a TCT or CCT. In this case, a CCT. Sa makatuwid, hindi rin siya nagsinungaling when he put 6.8 million in the current fair market value. Then ito ay mga local ordinance na pinapasa sa schedule market of value. In this case, in Taguig, ang cost or ang value ng property doon ay ganito lang ang halaga.
Well, it is
Sa
possible.
makatuwid, based on the public documents presented by the prosecution in this issue.
Ang nais po naming ipakita ay malinaw na malinaw sa dokumento na ang halaga ng binayad ni Chief Justice Corona ay 14.5 million. Kaya gusto po naming linawin, base ba sa kanyang SALN, meron bang sufficient siyang cash para bilhin ang property na worth 14.5 million?
Okay. Again, no, I would suppose, but at a future date, we will probably take a look at the SALN. Has the prosecution showed any property not in the SALN at this point in time?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many?
7 properties in Marikina.
So, but that has not been presented yet to the court.
The register of deeds has already been presented. The cross-examination of the defense has not yet started.
Okay. So, if at all, you would be saying now the two items, no? Para madali para maintindihan na rin natin dito sa korte at ng publiko eh. Sa ngayon, sa SALN ng Chief Justice, 5 ang property na nandito for 2010. Ha? Total throughout his life, he had 8 properties, it appears. No? You're saying that in 2010, he has not put 7 properties in Marikina.
Yes, Your Honor.
So yun ang hindi truthful ang declaration, wala pa dito.
Yes, and when we speak of truthful declaration, it presupposes that there should be a truthful statement insofar as the amount used
Correct.
for the purchase of the property is concerned.
And the other allegation now would be, why did he not use the acquisition cost?
Yes.
That is the point, right? Of
Yes,
the
Your Honor.
prosecution. Okay. At the appropriate time, I would like to reserve my right to ask questions on the defense at the appropriate time with regard to this, because we would still like to hear the defense. Now, how would they defend this in the style of the Chief Justice? No? But having said that, just a point of inquiry, Mr. President, maybe it is opportune now for me to ask an inquiry of this court. My understanding is that based on the rules, there are 8 articles of impeachment. It has been reported in the papers that the prosecution will present 100 witnesses. And I would assume, based on our rules, that at the end of the prosecution's term of presenting 100 witnesses, the defense now will have the opportunity to present their witnesses and their evidences to support their position, right? Is that correct, Mr. President? Is that the procedure that we are following?
That